Chapter 6 Country of Musketeers. The first thing he saw was a building of stone, brightly illuminated against the dark night sky. In front of it was an expansive garden, and the whole place reminded him of a large mansion. As Riku landed among the shrubs and flowers, he spotted a familiar figure entering the building. He frowned. That was Pete, although this one had a red outfit and a peg leg, unlike the one he knew. He was even wearing a crown. What kind of world did I end up in this time? Riku muttered to himself as he thought things over. Pete's here, so does that mean this place is connected to Disney Castle? But I don't think the castle is asleep. So is this some other world? Still, wherever this was, Riku couldn't just ignore Pete, knowing his history of wreaking havoc. Komoribat and Meow were by his side too. Shall we? Riku said to the two Dream Eaters, then followed Pete into the building. The floors were covered in crimson carpeting, and the interior proved to be as opulent as the outside. Now, where did he go? Riku proceeded farther in and came to a huge auditorium. So this place was a theater, and Riku had entered from stage left. Over on stage right, there were 3 people carrying what looked like wooden panels. Riku swiftly ducked behind the curtain. What were they about to do? The trio in brown hoods were the Beagle Boys, each toting a wooden board shaped like a person. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy on closer inspection. It seemed the 3 of them were together in this world too. Riku smiled at the possibility of running into Mickey. The Beagle Boys arranged the panels of Mickey and his friends on the stage. Behind them, Pete was standing on a prop shaped like a boat, surveying the stage like a director. He smirked, and then a big crate plummeted down from a scaffold above the arranged panels. Mickey and the others were smashed to pieces. Hold on, is he planning to... Wait! Riku rushed onto the stage, trying to catch Pete before he vanished. But Pete had already jumped down from the boat and disappeared backstage along with his henchmen. Riku took another look at the scattered splinters of Mickey and his friends. Looks like Pete and his goons are setting up a trap for those 3. And this was a test run. I have to stop them. He stepped through the door the Beagle Boys had come from when they brought the panels and found himself backstage. The moment he stepped into the dim, dusty room, Komoribat flew off ahead of him, with Meow close behind. You found something? Riku went after them and discovered a large locked chest, and it was moving. Komoribat circled the chest once and flapped its wings, beckoning at Riku. What is it? Riku hurried over to the chest and held his keyblade up to the keyhole. The lock clicked, and the lid opened to reveal the one trapped inside. Minnie! Minnie, who wore a pink dress and a crown, lay on her side within the chest. Are you all right? Riku lent her a hand as she climbed out. Oh, thank you for saving me. Minnie curtsied politely to Riku, then quickly turned away and started to leave. Where are you going? Riku hurried to ask. Minnie stopped. I have to help the Musketeers. What happened? Tell me what I can do. Riku wasn't quite sure what Musketeers referred to, but he could infer from Minnie's panic that it probably had something to do with Mickey and his friends. Who are you? She asked. Riku, Mickey's my friend, he replied. Riku wasn't confident he actually knew the Mickey of this world, but Minnie would probably get the picture. She smiled with a bit of relief, then began to explain. Oh, Riku, the stage has been rigged with a machine to lure Mickey and the others into a terrible trap. If we could only find something to control the device from here. As she filled him in, a suspicious figure was hard at work behind Minnie, one of the Beagle Boys who had been hauling over the wooden silhouettes earlier. Lucky I remembered. Look what I nearly forgot. The Beagle Boy muttered to himself as he removed the wheel from a device. When he finally turned around, he noticed Minnie and cocked his head in confusion. Eh? Why's the box sans mouse? That was when the remaining Beagle Boys showed up. Oi, quit messing around! The boss is losing his patience! When they finished scolding their comrade, the other Beagle Boys spotted Riku and Minnie too. Minnie was the first to raise her voice. There it is! That's the gadget we need to retrieve! I'm on it. Riku rushed toward them, and the Beagle Boys fled all at once. Run for it! The Beagle Boys had darted into a costume room. Komoribat and Meow would be especially helpful here, just as they had been when they found Minnie earlier. Take it away, guys. Komoribat fluttered around happily, then hovered in front of one of the many clothing shelves and flapped its wings. Gotcha! Riku swept the clothes aside, and just as he thought, there was one of the Beagle Boys hiding with his head in his hand. Eep! Before he could get away again, Riku grabbed him by the collar and knocked him out. 2 more to go. Meow. Not one to be outdone, Meow Wow trotted up to a wood door farther in the room. Over there now, huh? Riku smashed the door with a swing of his keyblade. Ugh! Riku easily rendered this Beagle Boy unconscious as well. That made 2. Only 1 more left. Meow Wow and Komori-Bat moved farther backstage into the dark substage where all the machines were for the sets. So the last one is here. Unfortunately, it seemed neither Komori-Bat nor Meow Wow were up to the task of tracking down the final Beagle Boy. Riku proceeded carefully, inspecting every inch of the area. After a moment, Komori-Bat flapped up into the air around a pile of lumber between some pillars. Something fishy there? Riku scattered the mountain of boards with his keyblade to reveal a small room, but there was nothing inside but a few small posts. No Beagle Boy. Nobody's here, you know, he told Komori-Bat. Komori-Bat flew even higher, and a look upward revealed a garret-like space overhead. Riku couldn't find a way to get to it, though. This time, it was Meow Wow's turn to circle a small pillar. You telling me to spin this? Riku slowly began to rotate the spindle-like apparatus, and a purple curtain slid down between the columns. At the same time, a small lift descended a short ways away. There you are! As the Beagle Boy desperately tried to flee, Riku smacked him on the head. That was all of them, and yet he still hadn't found the wheel. Did they hide it somewhere? He started to hurry back the way he had come, when a big mole-like Dream Eater, holy moly, suddenly crawled out of the ground at Riku's feet. The monster swatted Riku and Meow Wow away, then disappeared back into the floor. Riku quickly readied his Keyblade, but he couldn't get a bead on it. Where did it go? Next, it came from behind, and the blow to his shoulder sent Riku to his knees. By the time he looked back, the Dream Eater was gone. After that, it popped out of the wall. As its name would suggest, this Dream Eater was like a mole tunneling through space. They just never want to make this easy, do they? Riku leaped forward and whacked Holy Moly on the snout. It was a good hit, but the creature burrowed back into the wall. Now where? As Riku looked and listened, Komori-Bat flapped over to the other side of the screen. There it is. Beyond the screen, a paw appeared. The rest of the nightmare was hiding, but Riku still attacked it with a series of solid blows. As the paw disappeared in defeat, Riku heard Meow Wow yelp. Hold on! Riku climbed a stack of crates and brought his Keyblade down on Holy Moly from overhead while it was busy squaring off with Meow Wow. The surprise attack was more than enough to stun the Dream Eater. Time to finish this! Riku shouted. As if awaiting those very words, Meow Wow hurtled toward the chest. The spirit's body and power became light that merged with Riku. Here we go! With the extra power from Meow Wow, Riku hit Holy Moly dead on the nose. Did that do it? The Dream Eater clutched its head in pain, then went still and vanished in a flash of light. Riku, hurry! The machine! Minnie shouted as she emerged from her hiding place. Riku looked closely and saw the wheel laying where Holy Moly had vanished. He picked it up and went over to the device on the wall. Once the wheel was back on the shaft, he spun it slowly. How do you like that? The machine went into motion, and the gears started rotating. Impossible! They heard Pete bellow from the stage. Looks like I was right in the nick of time, Sora. Riku whispered, then smiled. Sora was fighting in the other world, and he had called on him for help. I bet Sora's helping Mickey out right about now. Riku was sure of it. Oh, thank goodness! You truly saved the day, Riku. I see you're as brave as a royal musketeer, Minnie told him joyfully. Musketeer? What is that anyway? He asked. Minnie beckoned Riku closer. She seemed to have a secret to share with him. What she told him surprised him. They actually say that? He asked. Of course, every musketeer is taught those words. It's a very important motto and a solemn pledge that brings us all together. A pledge that brings us together, and it reminds me of myself. Riku got to his feet and let out a small sigh. You're right, and it does fit the moment. He raised his Keyblade toward the sky. All for one, and one for all. He was positive that Sora, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy had all said the same thing on the other side. After all, they were connected. With their bond in his heart, Riku set forth for the next world.